Okay, I'm walking down the mountain to my car. It's gonna rain too. Again, this is August 19th, 2025. A memorable day. My mom and dad got married on this day 62 years ago. They're no longer here. They're experiencing the joys of heaven. And I want to put this out there today, asking this very honest, sincere question. Does it take more faith to believe that Jesus supernaturally did all the miracles, but beyond that, he raised up his own body from the grave in 3 nights and 3 days, and then elevated off the earth in a way that just doesn't make any scientific sense right after 40 days? Does it take more faith to believe in all of those miracles he did, feeding the 5,000, raising Lazarus from the grave, right? Turning water into wine, the first big miracle, which is pretty amazing because that's a time process that he just accelerated. Healing all the sick people, casting out all the demons, walking on water, stilling the waves and the winds, and instantaneously. It wasn't like a process. It just stopped waving, which violated physics, right? The laws of motion and energy. Does it take more faith to believe that than to believe that the earth was created in 6 literal days? There's no gap, no time gap to accommodate science. So you don't get embarrassed if you're a professor who believes in a 6 literal day creation. Because those poor professors, they gotta please their masters. They're in slavery. Or you're a theologian, or you're like a Wes Huff, you study manuscripts, you're brilliant. You know the ancient languages and you're learning them. And you testify to the words of Scripture, right? You're testifying that all the Bible writings were eyewitness writings. That are actual accounts, the Gospel, Synoptic Gospels, which is the first stuff that people started reading. Believe that that's all true, right? But do you believe there's a worldwide flood on a stationary, look like a piece of pie, circular face of the earth that makes the only design that makes sense for a worldwide flood? Nothing else makes. You can't put all that water on a spinning, spiraling ball that covers the highest mountain peak. Can't do it. It's impossible. So Rocky Mountains, all the high mountains in China, Russia, Alaska. Yeah, none of that works on a spinning, spiraling ball. None of it. So worldwide flood, you got to believe it's literal, covered every high place. The sun was actually turned off by Jesus when he died, said it is finished. That every eye will see him, literally, when he returns through the firmament, right? What does it take more faith to believe? In the resurrection or in everything I just said about the stationary surface of the earth? But if you go to these men, women, scholars, PhDs, I remember Michael Heiser would refuse to admit that the earth is stationary. Refused. He got pissed off about it because he cared about his academic status among the elite academic people. Brilliant guy, scared to declare the fundamental of heaven and earth. That's why God has to raise up people that don't care about all that. Because that's where you go to learn, right? You go to there to get your seminary degree. You go there to do all your research. You go there to do all your archaeology, right? You got to please the master. Who's Jonathan David Keener got to please? The maker of heaven and earth, the one who put all these trees here on the 3rd day of creation, the one who gives me strength right now to even talk, and a brain that can formulate any ideas at all that hopefully makes sense to you. Because I know what I'm saying is very fundamentally real. And of course I want you to enter in to simplicity, because if you enter the kingdom, you have to come like a child. Jesus said that. Think about that just for 2 seconds right now. Jesus said you can not enter his kingdom unless you become like a child. That means all your academic stuff has to go away. Go away. You cannot put that over what the narrative of Scripture teaches. What Israel believed, what Moses believed, what David believed, what Job believed about the construction of heaven and earth. Think about it. The encounters, they come from somewhere. An angel comes from somewhere. Where do they dwell? Just in the air, around the ball, but not around Mars, not around Jupiter, not around in and out of the galaxy. Think about how vast they're selling you on the universe. And why Earth? Why this little third rock from the sun thing? Why do you care? Why does God care just about? And that's what the thing that got me as a teenager. I couldn't answer that question. Why does God care so much about Earth? And what about all these other places? Are there other Earths? Is there life on other planets? You see what I'm saying? They're chasing. They're chasing all that. Man, I'm sorry about the shaking. They are chasing the wind. Like Nicodemus, right? He couldn't figure out how to be born again. You have to go back into your mother's womb. God have mercy on us all.